welcome to the Instagram stories for Tuesday, March 19th. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. If you have not heard, the topic of banning TikTok has been in the news a lot lately. I didn't cover it on this show previously because, frankly, I'm tired of talking about this topic. This has been ongoing since 2020. I have a lot of opinions on it, but the best way to get you caught up not only on the issue, but why this is such a big deal is going to be from the head of TikTok himself, Shou.
Hi everyone, it's Shou here. Just wanted to share some thoughts with our US users about the disappointing vote in the House of Representatives. There has been a lot of misinformation, and I hope to clarify some things. First, thank you to our incredible community. You are what makes TikTok so special. Thank you for making your voices heard. Over the last few years, we have invested to keep your data safe and our platform free from outside manipulation. We have committed that we will continue to do so. This legislation, if signed into law, will lead to a ban of TikTok in the United States. Even the bill sponsors admit that that's their goal. This bill gives more power to a handful of other social media companies. It will also take billions of dollars out of the pockets of creators and small businesses. It will put more than 300,000 American jobs at risk, and it will take away your TikTok. We know how important TikTok is to all of you. It has given our 170 million users a platform to freely express themselves and has empowered more than 7 million businesses in the United States. Our platform matters to the small business owners who rely on TikTok to make ends meet, to the teachers who inspire millions of students to learn, and to everyone who discovers and finds joy on TikTok. We will not stop fighting and advocating for you. We will continue to do all we can, including exercising our legal rights, to protect this amazing platform that we have built with you. We believe we can overcome this together. I encourage you to keep sharing your stories. Share them with your friends. Share them with your family. Share them with your senators. Protect your constitutional rights. Make your voices heard. Love you all.
I'm not going to give my opinion on this topic other than to say two things. Number one, I'm already tired of talking about it. And number two, I want to give CEO of TikTok, Shou, as much of a voice on this show as I humanly can. I don't find clips of him speaking very often, but whenever I do, I try to play them on the show. If you have ideas or suggestions of how I can get more clips, maybe you know somewhere that there's clips of him talking, video or audio, please send them to me. If you know him or know someone from the TikTok team and you can make an introduction, that would also be really appreciated. I feel like I give Instagram so much time on this show. It is called the Instagram Stories, but I want to give TikTok just as much time on this show. I also want to take a couple of minutes to debunk some of the myths that surround TikTok. The Washington Post had an excellent article called "The TikTok Debate Featured Many Disputed Claims." Here are 7 of them. And of course, this article written by Taylor Lorenz, it's completely on point, just like all her writing. But I want to go through some of the myths that people say about TikTok. Perhaps you've even said them yourself. And I learned something from this article, so you're going to like this. One of the biggest claims that people make is that TikTok's China ties give the Chinese Communist Party access to the personal data of Americans. Have you heard people say that? TikTok says that the Chinese government has never requested US data and that access to US data is strictly controlled, with only employees of TikTok's US subsidiary having access to it. TikTok says US user data is housed on servers controlled by the company Oracle, which is based in Texas. Let's just talk about the topic of whether or not the Chinese government could get your data. Facebook and Instagram collect similar data to what TikTok does, and data brokers who sell personal information collected via the internet can sell to anyone, including Chinese buyers. So if you are really concerned about your data being bought and sold to Chinese entities, TikTok is not the only one capable of having that happen. The next myth is that TikTok is based in China. I actually learned from this that TikTok is a US company and bound by US law. TikTok's headquarters are in Los Angeles and Singapore. Singapore is a separate country from China. TikTok is also not available in China at all. I didn't know that. This article is a fascinating read. I will link to it in the show notes. Of course, Taylor Lorenz always knocks it out of the park with her writing, and this one is no exception. We are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to get into the questions and answers from Mosseri Monday, so stick around. And we're back. Okay, let's dive into the questions and answers. First, how can I get my content on the Explore tab? You want your content to be on the Explore tab so that people who don't follow you will potentially see it. Some pieces of Instagram, for instance, your story, would only be seen by somebody who goes to your profile or somebody who follows you and then would see your story. It's very unlikely that people who don't follow you would see your story. However, feed posts, reels, these are things that would potentially go on the Explore page and then others might find your content because of it. So you want your content to appear on the Explore tab so that other people who don't follow you can see it. This is your best chance to grow your following. Here's Adam's answer.
There's no button you press, but in general, what shows up in Explore, which is similar to what shows up in Reels recommendations or even feed recommendations, is content we think someone might be interested in, even though they don't follow you yet. So the best thing you can do is experiment. See what you post or share that tends to get more unconnected reach than things that get less. So look at what you post, look at the connected and the unconnected reach, see if there are any patterns in what's getting unconnected reach and double down on those patterns.
When he uses the term unconnected reach, what he means there is your content being visible to accounts that don't follow you. One key metric for that is shares, because if somebody does follow you and they share your content through either DMs or sending it to stories, now other people who don't follow you will see it. So that's really your goal at all times. Okay, let's get into the next question. Will we ever be able to edit our photo grids? For example, move pictures around. Now, at first I thought they were referring to a carousel with this, but now I realize they're not. What they're talking about is on your profile page, being able to move things around. Maybe you had a post from a few months back and you want that to be in your top 9 so people who go to your profile can see it. Now, obviously you have the option to pin things to the top, but those are only 3 posts. Maybe there are other posts that you've made and you would like to feature those in your top 9. So I like this suggestion.
I like that idea. You can currently pin up to 3 things to the top of your grid, so you do have some control over it. It would get a little complicated if you could just rearrange things, but that seems like a tractable problem, so something we should explore.
Nice to see that Instagram is open to that idea. The next one is a feature request. The question is, multiple close friends list, please. Let's just back up and talk about what close friends is for a second. If you post a story, everyone who follows you can see that story. If you have a public profile, everyone who follows you can see it, and people who go to your profile also can see it. But what if you only want to share that story with a small select group of friends? Maybe you want to share it with your besties. Well, that's where close friends comes in. You can make a list of all the people who are in your close friends, and then only those people will see your close friends story. There's a catch there, though. You have to actually post it to your close friend story. You can't post it to your regular story for everyone to see. This person is asking for multiple close friends lists. I'm not exactly sure why you would want that. Maybe you want to separate one close friends list for your coworkers and one close friends list for your true actual friends. That's my idea. Anyway, here's Adam's answer.
We've thought about this a lot. We've actually experimented with it multiple times. My biggest concern is that if you make it so that you can create a bunch of different lists, that's great for a very small percentage of people who want multiple lists, but makes the whole system more complicated for everybody else, and that complexity cost might not be worth that additional functionality for that minority of people, but it is one we've wrestled with many times.
As a product manager, I really like that answer. Wait, let me take a step back. A product manager is someone who works on features and determines in what order things will be implemented and then works with the team in order to get them implemented. That's what I do. That's what a product manager does. I really like hearing Instagram's thought process, though. They test things, they see, oh, this will make it more confusing for the majority of users, therefore we should not do it. That makes total sense. That's going to do it for today's episode. As always, thank you for listening. Be sure to come back next time for more Instagram news, TikTok news, social media strategy, other things you need to know. And in the meantime, go create some content.
I'm not yet a member of the Instagram team, but my podcast covers many Instagram themes. But the name, image, logos are trademarks of Instagram and the LCC in the USA and every territory. Everything I publish independently until Zuck returns my DMs and starts to pay my salary. Not sponsored or endorsed, no lies, no fallacies. I use their logo with permission. Not malicious or callously, no trademark violation, filling all criteria. Follow me on Instagram or Twitter at Daniel Hill Media.